Good evening, the Honorable Professor Dr. Bulyzhenkov Igor Edmundovich. Thank you for the honor of joining us at the Institute of Cultural Diplomacy here in Berlin and for your keynote speech. We would like to ask you some questions in order to hear your thoughts and also opinions on some prominent issues.
Okay, good.
Professor,
Yes.
you have had such an extensive career in science. Given your experience, what kind of future opportunities and challenges do you think we can expect to see in multilateral scientific cooperation?
I would like to say, not in the future. It's a real day already. We have multicultural scientific cooperation. Just look at, say, CERN Center in Geneva. More than 100 different nationalities work on one, just or maybe four main projects. And so, fundamental science has been multinational maybe just more than 2,000 years already, as to fundamental. As to technical application for dual application already, I think it will never be just widely many nations involved, maybe just those who just follow one way. But for fundamental science, it's especially important to collaborate because all the fundamental discoveries has been already done. In order to make a next step, you should finance it heavily. And the future of science will be through, my understanding, mainly through infrastructure, research infrastructures, international research infrastructures. So each country will have each infrastructure in order to avoid duplication of efforts. It will be multinational infrastructure in the region, say European infrastructure, what Europe is doing now, Innovation Union. And Europe will be integrated into the world research infrastructure. And Russia also will be, for example, I'm from Russia, will be integrated to the world infrastructure research through Europe. Therefore, it's in the future the development of fundamental science will be in the very way we already pass through with CERN and other multinational project like for astronomy, for even space investigation is multinational. Therefore, it's quite promising perspective. I do believe it will happen in the future.
Good. And for the second question, given your background in academia and educational projects, do you believe that when comparing Western higher education with Russia, that there are common points for future development or cooperation, or do you believe they are too divergent?
No, it's a very strong tendency for integration at the moment, not only with Russia, for all the countries, because we are in the age of international internet technologies, and in my guess in few years, maybe in 5 or 10 years, it will be avalanche of educational programs which smash all the poor universities, domestic, local universities, and students would get an option to select either to get a diploma of advanced internet university or to get a diploma from local university just in a couple blocks on the same street. For sure they will vote for the internationally recognized internet university which will give them just a ticket to the world to work in any country with good income and so on. Therefore it will be a huge challenge for educational system. And internet forced us to make more competitive, more uniform approaches to educational process. It's a natural process. Technologies are in progress and educational system will be in changing. And so my guess that in 10 or maybe 20 years educational system will be quite different what we have today, traditional, when one professor, 20 students, and just they are in the same class. It may be a network when few professors and students from different countries instantaneously in the same class. It's one of the model of teaching. So for sure it will be here. I predict it will be a convergence of educational systems. And as to Russia, we are strongly look at the option to be integrated already with the most advanced universities of the world, in Europe first of all, in North America, to get all the best what they have at the moment, and to keep our national advantages, what we really have in the system.
If I may ask, is the government put the subside for the university?
You are well informed from where you get it. Yes.
No, I'm just-
Yes. In fact, our government made run few national programs.
Yeah.
Not only just subside one or another university. Yes, we run national programs to support higher educational system, to rebuild it. Just to look at 1,000 universities to say, to range them what are efficient university, what's the inefficient university. If they are inefficient, what either have to be closed to be combined with another university, to treat all the university system in a new way. Yes, and we have very advanced people who are very active now, young, energetic, and so yes, financial is one of the instruments how to distribute this. As to particular subsidy, yes, we had a national program to support the best or top universities in Russia. There were 54 applicants for the program, and only 15 winners. 15 winners who this year get this subsidy, and it's on a year basis. If they will demonstrate us a progress in the right way, from our understanding, from our criteria, they will be financed every year. If not, they could leave the program and another university might be supported. It's to make university administration to make some kind of competition for them, in order they don't run it as it's going. No, in order they contribute with new ideas, with new approaches, in order they look ahead with the university. And again, I told that in 20 years it will be quite different educational system, and we should follow not just behind the best universities at the moment. We should predict what the university system will be in 20 years and go straight there now. In order all the other universities are just running and follow us in 20 years. So far we gathered all the most talented or gifted managers to run such national project. We opened the project office, and in this project office I am responsible for the group for science metric and university region. University region to look at the progress and the position in 3 top regions: Arvu, Shanghai University region, QS, and Times Higher Education. That's how it works. Yes, our government is very supportive now to us, and we are all much happy that we get real assistance from them and directions.
Yeah, interesting. The third question: when taking into account the economic crisis in Europe and the subsequent budget cuts, the most damaged sectors within the EU were those of research. As a professor of physical and mathematical science and the Rectorate Counsellor of the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, can you please tell us what Russia's policy and attitude is towards funding in the scientific sector?
No, in fact, I can say that the crisis itself made a very strong impact into the system. Maybe it's our profs were underpaid. Maybe our students are suffering from not enough funds. But the main basic program which we run, say, 30 years, is still the same. We wouldn't like to just to collapse just because it's not related just only by money, by finance. In my time when I entered the university, the salaries were even much less than during this crisis, but still we were eager to get knowledges. Our professors were on the top level. They tried to give us all the best they can. And for example, I know currently I also teach a few courses. For some of courses I get a very good remuneration. For some courses which I like, I even just teach them, not absolutely for money. I teach them because I have very advanced students in this class, very competitive class who come. And I know that in this class I gave them knowledges. Even so, it's not directly related, and I can't say that the crisis that time just led to a collapse of the educational system. Absolutely not. Moreover, the most dedicated persons stay were at the university. Once the crisis is over and the government could provide more, say, money to support the university, yes, we were all very happy. And after the crisis, few advanced programs passed through our university system. First of all, this program for national research universities, when our best university got a status of national research university, like our institute, Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, and a few more. Two other universities got a special status, federal universities. Also, a lot of finance were for the educational system, because government understands that educational system is a future of country. What educational system we have today, what country we will have, say, in 20, 30 years, what the next generation will be. Therefore, again, crisis didn't lead to the collapse of our system. We passed through much more complicated years, say 50 or maybe 30 years ago, during, say, 1991 years, it was quite complicated years. But still, we are surviving and we are looking ahead with a great optimism.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And for the fourth questions, have you had any personal experience with cultural diplomacy in action over the course of your career? Has it had any impact within the Russian education system?
No, no, I can't relate my personal experience with the impact on the Russian educational system. It will be too much. No, but I did have personal experience in 1989 and in 1990 when we invited foreign experts to Russia. This were very dramatic years for Russia. In fact, when we passed through the Soviet Union to one country, to Russia, and there are a lot of new options were for democracy, for educational system. And that time I was among active colleagues from our science and educational system, and we set it up a US-Russia foundation called Culture Initiative. Culture Initiative. So our American colleagues will come with their personal expertise. What should be rebuilt? How we run, say, everything related to culture, both education, culture in business, which we were unexperienced. Would it give the strong impact on the educational system? Not, in fact, for the reason that the educational system is very, very big and how to say it, you will never understand what the impact has been done. And again, it was a private foundation. The educational system is a government one in our country. Therefore, we run few educational projects. This is the only. We get expertise ourselves. And few years it was quite new for us. And that yes, it was very useful. Maybe now we are more communications. Many our profs get expertise by teaching abroad in North America. That time we didn't get such expertise at all. But now, hundreds of our graduates are advanced professors in Europe and in North America.
So the last question. In the past 20 years, it has been easier for students to travel for the purpose of educational and cultural exchange. Do you believe this ease of travel has improved the quality of science nowadays?
Quality of education or quality of science? I don't quite understand.
The quality of science.
Quality of science in general.
Yes. Through this exchange.
No, my guess is the quality of science in general is driven not by students, in fact, by profs, by experts, by professionals. As for students, would they be top-level professionals if they travel a lot in their youth? Yes. I could say that it depends from specialization. If they are journalists or their career will be related to diplomacy or somewhere, yes, it's very important in young years to travel as much as possible, to look at the world, to get expertise, to get understanding how all this running. If you decided to be a researcher or scientist, say, mathematician, this travel first will give you nothing, and the second, you should follow the rules of this scientific school. You should, the most important, to select the right supervisor. And if the supervisor will say, oh, you should go to one country, to another, I'd be very much surprised, because all the schools are very, in science, conservative. So supervisors prefer to keep their students next to themselves in order to give them as much as possible. If the students will go to another country, to another supervisors, the links might be interrupted. So, in general, for scientists, I do not support. And sometimes I was vice rector for International, and many students come to me. I would like to go to practice abroad. And the first question was, and what your supervisor was, some argumentation for him. Is it has been approved? I agree. If you are going yourself because you just decided that it will be useful for you just to get some extra skills, what are the skills? If it's some installation, which we don't have in Russia, yes, it's reasonable, you have to go. If you just to look at the world, just to travel, absolutely no sense. You will never be a top-level researcher if you are not dedicated in your young years. And in young years, you should work heavily and follow all the steps your supervisor, who already on the very top of this scientific system. So again, it depends. In fact, mobility, communication for sure is useful for scientific relation, for science in general, but for every particular person, it depends from his specialization, first of all. I could tell you. So, hope for you guys it will be useful to tell a lot because your specialization, yes, absolutely.
It was very interesting, the last approach.
Yes, but would you be, say, mathematicians, better to sit in the library far ahead from all the people and try to just either to invest or to derive a new equation, something like that.
So, thank you for your time.
Okay.
It was an honor and privilege to have you here with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.